Hey, as reported by CNN, Toys R Us stores are making a comeback again.
Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
Remember? Aptly named the Air, Land, and Sea Expansion, WHP Global, the Toy Store's current parent company, announced an expansion of up to 24 flagship stores, as well as opening additional stores at airports and cruise ships, where the kids are.
Yep.
Hey, Mom, can we fly to Denver this weekend? I want to go toy shopping.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where you think of going when you're going to get a birthday present for your best buddy.
If getting E. coli and shopping duty free for toys is both on your bucket list, take a cruise. Anyway, so it's a bold move for the troubled company, which is attempting yet another rebound after filing for bankruptcy and closing all its stores in 2018. I remember feeling really bummed out about that at the time.
Yes.
Because Toys R Us just sort of loomed large in my childhood. So, we're going to talk about catalogs in a little moment, but that Toys R Us catalog, was one of those things that just sparked so much joy, just even having the book in our homes.
I'm still bummed about Toys R Us closing.
Yeah.
So it used to be a typical weekend when I was could drive myself, kind of like 20, 21, whatever. I would go to Circuit City to look at all the cool electronic gadgets. And I go to Toys R Us to look at all the kids' gadgets.
Yeah.
And now everything that was like my regular day, like there's not like a great toy store anymore anywhere. And there's not even a great electronics store anymore. And I'm not counting Best Buy, so we're not going to go there. But all those like singular entities that did one thing really well.
Yeah.
Like there's not a place for those, with the advent of online mercantile and crap like that. It's a little sad.
It is sad. And whenever I go near where the Toys R Us store used to be for us, carpeting or flooring now, they sell something
Another mattress store.
Mattress Warehouse.
And I feel so sad because we spent lots of time in there.
Yeah. And I remember being particularly bummed out because my oldest was old enough to experience Toys R Us throughout their childhood and then move on to adult things. But my youngest, was only 8 years old when they shut down. So she only had a small window of having that joy of going there. She remembers it, but it's a vague memory at this point.
Yeah. And two, we talked, was it last week or the week before last when we talked about Chuck E. Cheese / Showbiz and the animatronic band and everything. It was last week. And how Chuck E. Cheese is like kind of this showbiz is, I'm sorry, like this Toys R Us is, right? Because yes, Toys R Us is back.
Yeah.
Well, okay. When you like at the airport or wherever, right?
Yeah.
But Toys R Us was not just, let me shop at a place that has Toys R Us on the sign. It was a giant building, a whole aisle of ride-on little Tykes buildings with batteries, a whole aisle of action figures, a whole aisle. And now what Toys R Us is let's throw some brand new toys in the corner of an existing store and pretend it's Toys R Us, and you're missing out on the Toys R Us-ness of it. Just like Chuck E. Cheese, when I got back to it, someone that goes to a Chuck E. Cheese today, they're not having the Chuck E. Cheese experience. They're not having that showbiz experience. It's not arcade games. It's not the animatronic band.
Yeah.
They have beer, which they didn't used to have. I guess the only thing you still have is the cardboard pisa. But that's, you brought it back, but really you're just bringing back the name. It's like a movie reboot. It's like you're just gonna slap it. It's the Fall Guy movie, right? It's like we got something. Here's put a name on it. Put toys.
Yeah.
It seems like that. Now I'm slightly encouraged because with regard to the flagships, I guess taking a step back, like you pointed out, John, in 2021 they partnered with Macy's to open stores within stores. So they had like John saying, a Toys R Us, quote unquote Toys R Us,
right,
within these department stores. They opened 400 within various department stores or Macy's stores throughout the country. But now with this talk of this flagship stores is actually opening Toys R Us stores at different locations in connection with this company called Go Retail Groups. They won't be ready for this year, but you'll start seeing them towards the 2024 holiday season.
Okay.
There'll be 24 flagship locations to start, which will join the shops within shops that I mentioned already. To what extent they'll recreate the toy stores our youths, I'm dubious, or I'm doubtful as well, because the scale alone, like John's pointing out, you probably couldn't afford to rent a space like that. With
Exactly.
No.
Well, and you have a brick and mortar store that is in a place long enough that It's grimy down this aisle, and they have enough crap for clearance, right? These brand new pop-up stores are going to have clearance toys because
Right.
it's just going to be this season. It's, yeah,
Mhm.
like I said, it's not it's fine. The name is still alive. I get it, but it's just kind of a an animated corpse of Toys R Us is what we're getting.
Yeah.
Corpse.
Miss So says, I think they're
Yeah.
still doing a pop-up Toys R Us somewhere in Chicago. It's possible. Maybe for this holiday season they did that.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
It would
Yeah.
be smart, I guess,
I'm
just
sure
to
it was
take advantage
successful
of the
for 'em.
brand.
Yeah.
Right.
Karen says our former Toys R Us is a Joann's. Yeah, and Joann's
Yeah.
is at least has some toys. Yeah, that's true.
What?
Although that always presented a new challenge for me because we're very crafty in our house. So I take one of my
Yes.
kids to Joann's to buy something for crafting, and
Oh, yeah.
inevitably the kids would start veering. Hey,
Mhm.
look, there's dolls and stuff over here.
They're inching towards.
I need
the-
400 expensive markers in this box, please. I gotta that's-
With regard to
There
the
you go.
the airport stores, they've already opened one just this past month here in November at Dallas Fort Worth International Airport through a partnership with Duty Free Americas. The store includes a curated collection of toys, games, and collectibles for purchase. There was something odd that I know, it's just the next thing here. It also has demo tables, just like a Toys R Us. So that sounds good, kind of good. They have demo tables where you could actually try out the stuff, etc.
Yeah.
With regard to the cruise, the cruise part of this new business model, however, we don't know upon which cruise ship they'll be, what they're
Right.
partnering with. But this article said that the stores for the cruise industry will sell cruise themed merchandise.
What?
Remember how you put that on your Christmas list back in 1982?
Oh yeah.
Toys R Us is, you get to the cruise ship section, the catalog. I don't know what that is.
Like, you can build a boat with Lego or something. Is that what they're gonna have? I don't know.
Maybe some
I'm
dress up
ship
like Love
themed
Boat
toys.
cosplay.
I'm I'm thinking a sneeze guard from one of the buffets.
I'm
Maybe
doing
There's
ice
like a
Oh.
little,
Oh.
You guys ever been on a cruise ship?
No, I've never
Yeah,
have.
John has.
Oh,
I
John
have
has.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a good experience, John?
I did. It was a weird dichotomy of experiences because on the one hand, you are living like the help. But then when you're out of your room, you're living like the bourgeois.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
You're treated like a king when you're out of your cabin. But like, get back in your hole and go to sleep
Yeah.
in this tiny little whatever it is.
Right. Perpetually moving building.
I don't know my station in life. I'm just on a boat.
I mostly enjoyed my experience, but we were in a storm for, I don't know, some good part of it. And
Oh.
I was fortunate enough not to get seasick. I learned I don't get seasick.
Oh.
Everybody else I was with
Andy?
did. So
dear.
I was responsible for getting food for everybody because people couldn't walk around. They would just feel sick, And they had the bracelets on you get, and they were taking Dramamine, everything. But they were like, it's better if I just don't move.
So Will had 7 bracelets on his wrist, and he's loading up food in a trash bag.
I didn't need it. I didn't even need it. But I remember it was horrible. It was like a horror show though, because the ship was rocking so badly. You going through as you're walking down the corridors. First of all, John, it's like a scene out of Star Trek. Where I could just hear some director off camera shouting, "Left, right," because that's what it looked like.
3-hour tour.
And then literally, this is terrible, but I'll just tell you guys this. I get to the buffet, and I just start loading up plates for my friends, and literally like a kid next to me just barfs in the thing. So I skip like that tray and go to the next one.
just
Get
just
food
that
from
one.
the next one.
Oh.
Do you have any
my
other
gosh.
meatballs? Anyone? Any other meatballs?
People were getting sick left and right. It was horrible.
Oh my!
Okay, so neither of you have given me any motivation to want to have this.
No.
No, it was a great time,
Yeah.
but we didn't get sick, so that's why it was great. It was just you're living in squalor and then putting on as if you are a king during the day.
That's